Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about one tip that can really up the production value of your videos. A lot of people are intimidated by the idea of tracking. It sounds complicated and they just try to avoid it at all costs. But there are some simple things that you can do to make tracking a lot easier and thus allow you to use it to increase the production value of your videos. So we're going to talk about a few basic things to keep in mind when it comes to tracking. So the first thing to keep in mind is whatever it is you want to track has to be highly visible in your frame. It needs to have a lot of contrast with whatever else is around it so that your software can easily locate it throughout the duration of the shot. That way you can then take that information, attach something else to it like a piece of text or a graphic or something, and then it will appear like that text is following you. So for example, if I wanted to do a similar thing with this shot and attach a piece of text that follows my movements and looks like it's attached to me, I would probably track the edge of the frame of my glasses because it's highly visible, it has a lot of contrast from whatever else is around it, so the software can keep track of it and follow it throughout the frame. Keep track of it. I didn't even do that on purpose. Anyway, that's something you want to keep in mind for when you are planning those shots. Make sure that you will have something that is easy to track. Something to keep in mind to avoid is too much or too quick movement, right? Anything that's too blurry will be very difficult for your software to track. So you want some movement, but not so much or so quick and sporadic that it blurs the motion and makes it hard for your software to track. So that's not really an issue when you're doing videos like this where a person is sitting or standing and talking in one place, because then their movements are just very subtle and there's not really any blur issues to worry about. But what if you're shooting a live action video and you wanted to do a similar thing with a person or a vehicle or something that's moving through the frame? How do you do it then? Well, the process is pretty much the same, and the main thing you want to keep in mind is that you need a shot that is as stable as possible. So if you're going to be following someone, handheld is out of the question. If you have a gimbal or some kind of stabilizer, sometimes people will do follow shots with a drone. If that's something that you have available to you, those types of gear will allow you to do this more successfully because they'll keep the shot stable, and then everything else is pretty much the same. You pick a point that has high contrast and is visible throughout the duration of the frame, and you track that point. Then when you attach your text will follow the movement of your subject based on the tracking information from that point that you've extracted. So it's a pretty basic idea. It can get complicated depending on what type of shot you're doing and the purpose of the track, but that's the subject of another video for another time. For the purposes of this video, just keep in mind that you want to minimize motion blur and you want to have the shot as stable as possible to make your tracking as easy as possible for your software. Some people will also add tracking markers to the scene and then remove these later on in post when they add whatever it is they want to add. But those tracking markers are because there's probably nothing in the shot that is as highly visible or highly contrasted that the tracking software can follow, so they put their own markers to make that process easier. So that's it for me, guys. If you got something from this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would really help me out. If you're not already, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you never miss another video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.